Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to another video. And today the video is going to be in Halo 5, and I'm going to be talking about my first impressions of the newest mode to the Halo franchise, Warzone. If you guys don't know what this is, and if you haven't seen any of the videos or anything like that, it's basically taking elements of other games or maybe like Battlefield and put it into Halo. Basically, it's the simplest way I can explain it. And it's 12v12 teams of Spartans going up against each other. There's 3 bases on the map. Like each team has their own like armory, and they have to capture that. There's east and west, and then you have to go to the main. Well, it's different on every map. For on Escape from Ark, it's the garage. From March on Stormbreak, it's the fortress, and from Raid on Apex 7, it's the Spire. And basically what this game mode is, well, the first variant is just Warzone, and then there's Warzone Assault. So Warzone is more like conquest or domination in a sense, where you capture these bases and you gain points. I don't know if you gain points by just having them on your side. I don't know if they're just like serve as spawn points, but getting kills will give you only 1 point, I think. So you might get some points for capturing bases later on. I'm not too sure. I haven't found that to be the case. But most of your points are going to be coming from the bosses, the AI bosses that you have to kill, and the AI, like, well, there's bosses and there's legendary bosses and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you get AI, like, points for killing just the standard AI. I do believe you only get points for, the bosses. So you do need to kill the AI, the smaller AI, to actually capture bases for the first time. So you do have to make contact with them, destroy them at least once. So after you capture these bases and you turn them to your team's side, about 3 or 4, depending on, maybe 5 even, Marines will spawn with your team colors, and they'll stand around and they'll defend your keep, basically. And these aren't just pushover Marines either. So if there's 2 or more, they can take you out pretty quickly, actually. I think they're actually a little bit overpowered because they all have assault rifles, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now, as the assault rifle is my favorite weapon, and I've liked it throughout all Halos, but I don't think it's ever been that powerful. These guys will take you down in a few shots, and when you multiply that by 2, 3, 4, you just better be careful. Aim for the head with a battle rifle or your pistol or something like that, and you'll clear the room pretty quickly. So just heads up with that if you plan on playing this anytime soon. So let's move on to Warzone Assault. So this is the second game mode, obviously. And if you're familiar with Invasion from Reach, you basically know this is kind of like Rush from Battlefield if you haven't played Reach. The basic premise of this game mode is to capture the first 2 bases. I think on well, now think about it, there's actually like 3 maps for each game mode. So there's 3 maps for just Warzone, then there's 3 more maps that are only Assault. While these maps share like aesthetics and stuff like that, they actually do have a little bit of different layouts and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty neat, and it looks pretty cool when you have something like that. But you're going to be capturing the first 2 bases, and then you have to destroy the enemy core. And obviously, once time runs out, the enemy team wins. But if you destroy it and in the time that you're being given, you actually you win the match, obviously. But there's some things I just want to talk about real quickly. I will give my negatives first, and I'll give you my my positive list I have written down here on my little script. Starting with the negatives, getting that out of the way first. I do feel like the spawns are a bit wonky in this game mode. Like, you will sometimes choose to spawn on a base, and you'll either spawn just honestly like nowhere close to it, or you'll spawn right in the middle of someone's line of sight and you'll die within a couple of seconds. And that's never fun. Just spawn into a bullet, basically. And then this next one is more specific to one map, Escape from Ark. On the garage, you can actually, if you're a Spartan, you can just jump up on the top, and you can just sit up there and pretty much you can just snipe and take pop shots at the enemy team, basically without even, you don't have any cover up there, but since you have the highest ground in the map, no one else can actually reach you unless they're up there themselves. which getting up there is kind of a task, especially if there's an enemy and the enemy team has the said base. So I feel like they should like add a soft kill boundary on top of the base. So if you attempt to get up there, you'll have like 10 seconds to get off. You know, if you could manage to get a kill within 10 seconds with your sniper rifle or something like that and not waste it, it might be worth it. But I just feel like they should do something about that. It's really annoying to go up against a team of just campers, basically, because they have like, if they have 5 people up there, you're never getting out of your base. And if there are 5 people who have good shots, you're never getting out of your base. So you're pretty much in a deadlock, and it's a stealth game, and it's boring for everybody, honestly. The best games I've had is where the teams go back and forth, capturing bases. You know, it's intensity of the match that, you could lose this base, but if you gain this base, you'll have 2, but something like that. It's just really fun once you get into it. And once the game gets rolling and everybody gets all their cool stuff, it's really fun. So the next thing on my list is map variety. There's not very much of it. There's 3 maps per game mode, and once you're in one game mode, you can't play the other 3 maps, obviously. But the thing is, there's no voting or vetoing in this game, so it's just a set playlist, which is fine by me until you realize that you'll be put into other people's games that had just played a previous map. So it's very possible for you to play the same map 5, 6, 7 times in a row, and that gets very boring. Half my Warzone games have been on March on Stormbreak, and while I think the map's alright, it's just very boring to play the 7th time in a row. I could play more in the playlist without, if every game was on a different map, I would feel a bit better. But since it's not, I don't want to play the same map 7 times in a row. I'm not even kidding. I played the map 7 times in a row. My last negative for this video is the motion tracker size, specifically in vehicles. If you guys don't know, you can spawn vehicles in this game like tanks, warthogs, wraiths, stuff like that. The motion tracker is very small in this game. I think that's fine for when you're on the ground. Like, keeps you more aware from in your immediate surroundings. But once you get in a vehicle, you pretty much don't know someone's about to board you until they do. I think they need to extend it, maybe even double it for tanks, just so they have a chance of even crawling away, I guess, or hovering away if you're in a wraith. It's very annoying to spawn in a tank. Get to where you're going. You're trying to help out your team, but you don't know there's an enemy Spartan there. But you can't see them until they're literally on top of you, and you have a grenade down your control hatch, and you can't really do anything about it. So I just wish they increased that just to make it more enjoyable. So starting off my positives, the first 2 kind of go together, so I'll just make that into one point. Weapon variance. In other games like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, this would be frowned upon. But the thing is about Halo is everybody can have these, and you're only matched with people who have similar or the same cards. So if you have an assault rifle with a cool scope on it with a energy bayonet like I do, then you're probably going to be matched with somebody with the same card or something similar in power. Now the way they're going about balancing something like that is you have to get the rec level 8, which if you played a game of Warzone, could take a while. Now there are some games where I get to rank level 8 or 9 about halfway through, and those are the best games out there, because that means everybody's on their toes and they're going head to head and they're trying to liven up the style that the game has become. And my final point is this is my favorite game mode when it picks up, when it's not a team of Spartans sitting in one base and another team sitting in the other base, just firing BR shots at each other. Then it's very fun. This is my first official Halo 5 video with commentary and everything, and there's gonna be many more to come throughout the months, maybe years, depending. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.